So this is part 4. It might be a 5-part video rather than a 6-part. Let's get into it. Okay. A friend of mine who's one of the financiers for this film. Pretty interesting movie. Doesn't really focus on his movie-making life. It focuses on his childhood, growing up, teenage years, college years, and then ends around the time of Eraserhead. And it shows him making art at his house. I guess it's his house. Talking about his memories. Some of it's kind of funny, the way he talks about it, because it's David Lynch. Talking about weird things, collecting dead insects in his basement. And yeah, so good movie. These two are recommended by Daisuke. Wait a minute. Only one of these. I think the other one wasn't recommended by him, but he said this one would go real fast, go by fast. It's about 4 hours long. I haven't watched it yet, but it's from Taiwan. Brighter Summer Day. I'm sorry. So I hear it's really good. So probably look in a future video for that, or review on that. And I got this Until the End of the World because it's like a 5-hour movie. I like long movies. I think it has quite a bit of special features here. So, yeah. But, maybe I'll get into more detail when I do a review of that. Eisenstein. Maybe more as a learning tool than as an actual enjoyment. Because I don't know if some of it's kind of boring, Ivan the Terrible. I think he's making little hints to Stalin that he's aware that he's being watched, because he's like drawing paintings of eyeballs against walls. It's interesting. 2 movies, or technically 3. Alexander Nevsky and Ivan the Terrible, parts 1 and 2. There's the part 3. I think it might be included in here, but it's not finished because Eisenstein died before it could be finished, and I don't know how he died. Yeah, but Alexander Nevsky was when Hitler and Stalin had a treaty to divide, I think it was Poland. He wouldn't allow Stalin wouldn't allow Alexander Nevsky to be shown to the public, but when the Germans crossed the line and invaded Russia, then he gave the go-ahead. So, and speaking of Russian movies, I haven't watched this yet. Again, I'll do a review when I do. It's over 6 hours long, or 5. War and Peace, on the YouTube channel Cinefix, Cinefix. They do these great videos, and one of them was on like great historical films. And they said, like, of the 1800 time period, the one they liked the best is War and Peace. There's one battlefield sequence in this film that gave the director 2 heart attacks to make, literally. So that sounds interesting, Terrence Malick again, Tree of Life, 2 different cuts. Um, Manuel Lubezki, again, doing the cinematography like on New World, I believe. Uh, David Fincher and Christopher Nolan on here talking about Tree of Life. Interviews with Jessica Chastain and senior visual effects supervisor Don Glass. A visual essay. Interview with critic Alex Ross about Malik's use of classical music. Visual essay. So it's a good movie too. But my personal favorite is um, The New World. I'm looking in this box. These are fairly recent ones I've bought. Not recently, but like last year, or maybe even the year before that. Let me see. Where can I go next here? I shouldn't be holding you up. Okay, let me go fast. As fast as I possibly can. If you want to own a good Criterion, Blow Up is a good one. This is a good Michelangelo Antonioni film. It's in English if you don't like to read subtitles, maybe. But you want to see another foreign director's work. Of course, Blow Up, Repulsion is like that because it's a Polish director directing a French actress in England. So, and of course you got Bernardo Bertolucci directing Last Emperor, which is an Italian director directing a film in China that's spoken in English. So, but anyways, Blow Up is about the swinging '60s, and I got a photographer who swinging London, who notices a murder taking place. He doesn't notice it right away. He takes a photo of it, blows it up, and then tries to find the body. But there's a lot of great special features that go along with this, like the art movement at the time, the photography era and the paintings of the time period, conversations between Garner and actor Vanessa Redgrave, archival interviews with actors David Hemmings and Jane Birkin. It's got a lot of special features on here. Let's see. New pieces about direct. So there's more. Yeah, it looked like less, but no, it's got more. I know because I've looked at the menu, in the past. This is a good Criterion. This is like Last Emperor good. Good special features. Excellent movie. Another one. I haven't watched this in a long time, but if you're gonna buy this, If you're gonna do the right thing, then the way to buy it would be Criterion. It's got a digital restoration approved by cinematographer Ernest Dickerson, and it's got audio commentary from '95 from director Spike Lee, Dickerson, production designer Wynn Thomas, and actor Joel Lee. Introduction by Spike Lee, Making Do the Right Thing, a documentary from 1989 by St. Clair Bourne, in a new 2K digital transfer interview with costume designer Ruth E. Carter, New York City Council member Robert Cornegi Jr., writer Nelson George, and filmmaker Darnell Martin. There's a lot on here. 3 programs for 2000. Music video for Public Enemy's Fight the Power. Directed by Lee. With remarks from rapper Chuck D. Cannes Film Festival press conference from '89. Glauthi Davis, Spike Lee, Ruby D. Edson and Joel Lee, behind the scenes footage, deleted and extended scenes, storyboards, trailer. It's got everything, so A good companion piece to this, or a good double feature, would be Malcolm X. It would be good for Criterion to do a version of Malcolm X. But anyways, yeah, it's this was a really good film. It's got a nice build to it, you know. Nice build would be a nice build, a tense build to it, and then things, you know, then everything that's pent up during the film just blows up at the end, you know, just a lot of tension. So I've got to watch this again. I haven't seen it in many years, but you know, it's worth buying. So let me see. Oh, this is a good one. 4 months, 3 weeks, and 2 days. This is a Romanian movie about abortion. I don't know if it has a lot of special features here. There's an interview with the director. Interview film critic Jay Weisberg on the new Romanian cinema. There's a documentary about the film's reception in Romania. Press conference of the 2007 Cannes Film Festival. So, yeah. Okay, so here's a movie. I don't think it's that fantastic a movie, but if you want to know technical aspects of making movies, like how to do special effects or how they're done, or in that regards, it's very interesting. It's a mad world. It has a whole potpourri or a whole combination of great comedians, you know. Buddy Hackett, Leonard, Milton Berle, Buster Keaton, the Three Stooges. I hate the Three Stooges, by the way. Sid Caesar, Ethel Merman, Mickey Rooney. What's the guy's name? It's a Sink. No, that's another guy I'm thinking of. He's the guy that he started the film. I can't remember his name. Spencer Tracy, Jonathan Winters, yes. And the guy who starts off the film that is a catalyst for starting off. They're searching for money in California. He tells them where there's a spot where there's money buried when he's just about to die. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a famous actor, but I can't remember. But it's got a lot of special features on here. It's got more than one edition of the film. But this one is one of the few Criterions I have that gets frozen. I think the longer version gets frozen. But it has some interesting documentaries about visual effects, and I don't know why Stanley Kramer would regard this film as one of his best or his best film, because he's made better movies like The Defiant Ones, or maybe he made The Longest Day. He made The Defiant Ones. I can't believe it. This is not as good. He never made a comedy before. He probably shouldn't have. Technically, it's very well made, but from that standpoint, it's very interesting. But it's not funny at all. Hardly funny. It's a joke. Yeah. Well, what I mean by a joke is it's a failure, in my opinion, as far as comedy goes. I haven't watched this since I first saw it. I got this last summer, I think. Hedwig and the Angry Inch. It's a music movie, rock singers. yeah, so it's just a very good film. There's another film I'm going to show in part 5 or 6. I think I might make it part 5. That's rock oriented as well as this. But you know, this is just a fun movie, I would say. Uh, and maybe if you want to see like a fun, funny, if you like rock music, this is your Hedwig and Angry, and she might fit you. I'm being selective here because I don't want to. I'm trying not to choose all the films in the box. It's a small box, and there's not tons of movies, but there's some. Blue Velvet. This has what was on the, I think it's the MGM UA box set. Not box set, I'm sorry. Edition. Of course, I'll tell you that the MGM UA edition has a few, 1 or 2 Easter eggs on it. If you want to have an edition with Easter eggs on it. And I have a book about Easter eggs on DVDs, and it just says on the MGM UA Blue Velvet, David Lynch says things like, I like a fillet of fish and a chocolate milkshake when I go to McDonald's to get a meal. That's what you get as the like the Easter egg. So nice packaging. Blue Velvet, I'm sort of have a mixed opinion of. I like the Dennis Hopper, Isabella Rossellini parts, but I don't care for the Laura Dern parts. Too innocent. I like the darker part of it. Hoop Dreams, about 2 young black men in the urban project areas of Chicago. They want to become basketball players, and see, this is a documentary, and we see as to how that progresses. I think it's more than 1 disc here. Yes, it is. Mm-hmm. There you see them with their family. But basketball is not really what the whole film is about. The film is about you know, how we come to terms with how our lives end up, and you know, try to make meaning out of what we come out of, you know, no matter what those results happen to be, I guess. Here's another Ingmar Bergman movie. I haven't seen it with, what's her name? Ingrid Bergman, no relation to Ingmar. And Lee Volman is Ingrid Bergman's character's daughter. So, I'm not showing everything. I'm not showing everything here in this box. If you like music, Rolling Stones, not a bad documentary to watch. Don't know who made this. Oh, the Maisels. The Maisels made this. Maisel brothers. Audio commentary by Albert Maisels. Never before seen performances of the Stones. I like the Rolling Stones, so it's got a 44-page booklet as well. So, and this details them at Madison Square Garden, I think, and also at Altamont and what happened at Altamont, and it was kind of the death of the '60s, if you will. I'll just flash this by real fast. Colored Pomegranates by Sergei Parajanov. Here it's good. We'll see. I'll give a review at some point. Funny Games. It's making me think of another film I saw recently. What was that film? Oh yeah, Us by Jordan Peele. I think it sort of has some of the same similar ideas to it, sort of, I guess. I haven't seen it yet. I'll give more information when I do a review of that. So, and I think I'm gonna pass on some of these. I'm gonna pass on some of these. Let's see. Okay, I got a bunch of them in my hand, but I think I'll go through them fast. Picnic Hanging Rock. I think it's kind of... Yeah, they vanish. Haunts viewers to this day, along with the chaperone on the St. Valentine's Day outing. Vanished. Small, all-female college vanished. So, Peter Weir, Picnic at Hanging Rock. It's another good Bresson movie, one of his earlier ones. Balthazar. I think Bresson was an atheist. The donkey is like a representation of Christ that goes from person to person, sort of like L'Argent, which is about money and how it transfers from person to person. L'Argent, I highly recommend. Balthazar, Alhazard Balthazar is good too. I only have maybe 2 films from Iran. Here's one, Close Up. I gotta watch that. And check out Cinema Dave Media, his YouTube channel, because he did a review on this Coker trilogy. I didn't watch it yet, his review, because I think I wanted to watch my copy, which I haven't watched yet. He did it a while back. And just look it up, put in Cinema Dave Media and then Coker trilogy, right there. And, and he shows everything. He shows the movies, he opens the box and all that. So I'll leave it with him, I'm not going to be redundant, In the Mood for Love, Wong Kar-wai. Another movie called Chungking Express, which was kind of interesting, but I wasn't blown over by it, I guess. But I haven't seen this in a long time. The first time I saw it, I don't know if I liked it that much, but I'm willing to give it another shot. This is a good one. I like period pieces. Age of Innocence. It's like Victorian era America, 1800s, and stars Daniel Day-Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Winona Ryder. and it's about like I think Daniel Day-Lewis likes somebody else. I think he likes Michelle Pfeiffer more than he likes his wife, Winona Ryder. Is that how it goes? Yes, but he's in love with his cousin, Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Not too many special features of making the movie, some interviews. Um, but you know, if you like period pieces, it's not a bad movie. I haven't watched it in a long time. Um, I have seen this film before. Maybe it's because I only saw one version. This is a box set. Maybe it would cost $40 or 50 during the sale. So that's the thing with um, Orson Welles movies is that well I mean that's what I'm going to get to here because some of them were truncated, cut up. Some of them are in legal limbo hell because you know I think like the daughters of Orson Welles are trying to make it hard for people to watch his movies. But now we're starting to get a flux of his films. I was going to show films like Chimes at Midnight, F for Fake. Um, I didn't like The Immortal Story that much. That's another um, um, Orson Welles movie I have. But there's a few here. This is Mr. Arcaded. So I don't know if this film is good or bad. I gotta watch it again. Maybe I'll warm up to it better. I was kind of I didn't think much of it when I saw it, but it's got more than one version here, so you know. I don't know how many versions are on here. Maybe three versions. Disc one, disc two, three versions. There's three versions. Okay, so that's a DVD. So okay. 1984 by George Orwell, directed by Michael Radford. I haven't watched this in a while. I think I saw it in high school. Really love the book. And it has two scores, one by Eurythmics and one by composer Dominic Moldani. Interviews with director Michael Radford and Deakins. Interview with David Ryan, author George Orwell on the screen. So looking forward to that. Of course, I'm looking for a lot of movies, and I don't know which ones to go with first. This is maybe one of Kurosawa's worst films, but it's kind of entertaining, I guess. I haven't watched it in a while. It's set in a junkyard. This film was a bomb at the box office, and Kurosawa tried to commit suicide after he made this. That was like the early 70s. So, but then he rebounded. And he made this other film, which comes in a double pack. Only way I could get it that way, Criterion-wise. It's a story by Gorky, Maxim Gorky, and it's been adapted by two different directors. One is by Jean Renoir, and one is by Kurosawa. And I want the Kurosawa. I could care less for the Jean Renoir. I think Jean Renoir is kind of overrated, in my opinion. I might watch the Jean Renoir just because the Kurosawa comes with it, just to you know, see the differences and the similarities. So. Oh, and I forgot to show this, Magnificent Ambersons, Orson Welles, you know, so, yeah. This is the film he made right after Citizen Kane. Orson Welles and Dick Cavett, silent adaptation. Audio interviews, some Mercury Theater plays, radio plays, audio commentaries by Robert L. Carringer, James Namor, and critic Jonathan Rosenbaum, interviews with film historian Simon Callow, Jessica McBride. Okay, so, okay, that's gonna wrap up this part. I'm at 29 minutes. Let me just show one more. I think this might be a fun one to buy. If you want some kind of action movie with lots of, chases and fighting and, going down hills and jumping around in malls off of stairways. And I've seen clips from these. I haven't watched the whole thing. I think I've watched the trailers. But this is Jackie Chan, Police Story 1 and 2. So one more part, I think. I think I'm not going to do a 6th part. I think I can just put the 2 together and make it 1. So one more part, and then I'll be done for the rest of this. Part 5, final part. Part 5, final part. I don't know if it's cut off there. So I got 4 piles here. There's not really that much, and that's it. So let me, go into it. Heaven's Gate by Michael Cimino. Made United Artists Go Out of Business. It's a Western. Starts at Harvard, and like late 1800s, maybe 1892. Yeah, just late 1800s, and then he goes out to the West. Stars Christopherson. It's got Christopher Walken, Isabelle Huppert, and maybe this video, not video. I'm sorry. Maybe this movie gets more hate than it deserves. I like long movies. I don't know. Maybe I should watch it again. I don't know if I was totally loving it, but maybe it doesn't deserve the hate. I just like the ambition behind it, because he made The Deer Hunter before this, which won a slew of Academy Awards, and he made a lot of money. And then he made this, and he bombed. I think it ruined the rest of it. Well, I think it ruined him for at least a little while, financially speaking, and making movies. And I think Michael Cimino is dead. If anybody knows, put it down there. I think he's dead now. I think he passed away. So here's a good film that was made in New York City on a low budget in the 1950s, right? Or 1961 it came out. Like a noir kind of a movie. But yeah, it's just really well done if you want to see a quite nice noir film done on a low budget and how he did it. Probably wouldn't cost too much, it would be just a single DVD. Not much in the area of special features, a little bit. But if you want to go art-wise, you don't want to be if you like something that's non-narrative, that's more of an experience, then I recommend the Qatsi trilogy. Koyaanisqatsi, Powakatsi, and Nicoya Qatsi. All the films are music and moving images. There's a philosophy behind the films. Koyaanisqatsi is comparing the natural world to the man-made world, and Koyaanisqatsi is comparing the third world, the poverty, and first world, I believe, and then Nicoya Qatsi is the technology. So, and there's a lot of special features talking about the films, and also, this was the first film that Koyaanisqatsi was the first film that Philip Glass did. He didn't want to initially do it. He didn't initially want to make it. I think this is the case. I think I heard this on the disc. He didn't want to make a film. He didn't want to make music for films, but this completely changed that. So, they were made in 83, 88, and 2002. So. Branded to Kill by Seijun Suzuki. I guess this is an okay film. Not much in the area of special features. Had to make a judgment call, I guess. This is fantastic. Lone Wolf and Cub. If you like some Japanese fun martial arts stuff, you're gonna love it. Visually, it's beautiful to watch. You see a documentary about samurai swords. You see one about manga. French documentary about the making. It's based on the manga thing. It's got a presentation of Shogun Assassin on it. So it's got one, two, three, 6 movies. This is, if you want to have fun, you want to buy a box set with a lot of stuff and lots of action, you can't go wrong with Lone Wolf and Cub. I don't think Werner Herzog has any of his films in the Criterion collection. I could be wrong. But there's a documentary that Les Blank made about the making of Fitzcarraldo called Burden of Dreams. There's a commentary by Blank, editor and sound recordist Maureen Gosling, and Fitzcarraldo director Werner Herzog himself. Dreams and Burdens, a new 38 video interview with Herzog. And it's got an interesting documentary. You know, you have to remember this is the times before computers, computer editing, you know, using cameras to shoot things, using phones as cameras to shoot things like now off your iPhone and, you know, all that stuff. Back in those days, you know, you had to use film equipment, you had to edit your film on a flatbed or an upright movie editor, you know, film editor. Anyways, Werner Herzog challenged this filmmaker to make a movie. They made the movie, and as a bet, what he did, he said, "If you make your movie, I'll eat a shoe," and he did. And you see him eat a shoe before a whole audience. But that's Werner Herzog. He likes to, you know, brave the elements, like a Aguirre Wrath of God. That's not in Criterion, but I highly recommend Aguirre Wrath of God. You know, his cast and crew, they're going down the rapids of the Amazon. You know, they could have been killed. He literally, you know, takes a lot of risks. Fitzcarraldo, you'll see it in this movie, as you see that right here. They're pulling a huge ship over a mountain, not a dinky ship, but like a huge ship over a mountain. He's gone to the North Pole, I think the South Pole. He risks his life basically, and he gets a rise out of it, a thrill. I don't know, but probably I wouldn't do the things he does. I know I wouldn't. Phoenix, about the Holocaust. Not about. It's not like Shoah, the documentary about the Holocaust. This is a feature about a woman who's taken away from her husband. Her husband betrays her to the Nazis. She comes back from a concentration camp with plastic surgery, and she comes back to her husband. Her husband doesn't know it's actually her, and I think she wants to receive the money she lost. He wants to have her play his wife, even though it is her wife. It is his wife, anyways. Yeah. So. Oh, and special features. Yeah. So. Good movie. I haven't seen this. I don't know how good it is, but I don't know. It's Terry Gilliam, so Jabberwocky. Just look for. When I watch it, I'll do a review on it, so you'll know what I think about it. Here's some Alfred Hitchcock for you, Lodger. I think it was the third feature, silent movie. Sort of the wrong man thing starting up there. It's okay, but it's not it's not going to be like Psycho or Vertigo or The Birds or Rear Window. So, you know, um, this is not as great as a movie as if it would be, you know. But then they have released some fantastic. Well, you know, I didn't show all my Hitchcock. I had The Lady Vanishes and 39 Steps in one of my boxes, but I haven't watched 39 Steps in a long time. And The Lady Vanishes, I'm a little can't remember as much. I decided not to show them, but I decided to show these three. So, first one's Notorious, with Ingrid Bergman, Claude Rains, and Cary Grant. Um, they have Ingrid Bergman because of her father being a Nazi. They have her try to infiltrate a place in Brazil and marry Claude Rains' character to find out secrets of what the Nazis post World War II are trying to plan. It's a thrill. It's fun, you know. Well, more than it's lots of it's Hitchcock. It's got a lot of tension to it, and I think there's some great special features with this. Interviews with the Hitchcock biographer Donald Spotto, commentaries. Rudy Belmar does one of the commentaries. Scholar Marion Keene does another. Film's visual style analysis by David Bordwell. Yeah, so storyboarding, pre-visualization. Good one. This one I haven't watched, but I saw a portion of it, a small portion. And I think it's a great scene with these umbrellas in here. I think I saw part of that. I'm looking forward to watching this. I think you couldn't go wrong buying this. And then I've seen this before, but I haven't watched my Criterion of this. And I have another edition of this too in a box set, Rebecca, with Joan Fontaine and Laurence Olivier. Yeah, so. Conversation between Molly Haskell and Nat Skeller, Patricia White, audio commentary from Leonard Leff, film historian Craig Barron on visual effects, French documentary, making a documentary from 2007, footage of screen, hair, makeup, and costume tests for Joan Fontaine, Ann Baxter, Vivian Lee, Margaret Sullivan, Loretta Young. I guess they were trying out different people for the role, seeing who would go. So, and of course, Notorious and Rebecca are sort of nested in the production environs of David Selznick. David Selznick was more involved than Rebecca. I think Hitchcock had more control when it came to Notorious. Okay, second pile. The fourth pile is just two box sets, so don't worry. I'm almost done here. Othello, really good Orson Welles movie. Great stuff telling about how they made the movie. Again, you know, how they shot different scenes at different times and joined them together to make it look seamless, you know. Two different versions of the movie, the US and the UK one. So, if you like Shakespeare, this is a good one to go with. I haven't watched Chimes at Midnight. I want to. When I do watch Chimes at Midnight, I'll let you know what I think of it. I like this movie a lot, Sid and Nancy. about Sid Vicious and the Sex Pistols, the bass player. Beautiful movie, beautiful romance movie. There's a great scene where they're kissing each other and there's people throwing garbage down the alleyway. You know, it's like raining garbage bags. And there was like an unplanned shot. I think Alex Cox might not have even shot that scene, but it's beautiful. And I think Alex Cox doesn't like that scene. And the scene at the end, he's not too pleased with either. But I like the ending. So, and I don't know if there's a ton of special features. 2 audio commentaries. Ones with Grio Marcus, who writes for what do you call it, Rolling Stone, or did at least. Interview with the director. You see a Sex Pistols television interview on here in '76. Telephone interview with Sid Vicious. Interview with Vicious and his girlfriend Nancy Spungen. So, yeah. And he does a great version of My Way by Frank Sinatra, you know, but done on a punk kind of thing. This next film is, I don't know, it's entertaining, but I don't know if I'd watch it all the time. It's fun. If you like a fun movie, you know, I don't know if there's a ton of special features here. Well, it's 2 audio commentaries, but if you just want to have a fun time, it's Steve McQueen's first film, The Blob. Oh, I did include it. Okay. Night of the Hunter. Robert Mitchum. Mike, I don't know if you're watching this, Great 1951, but if you are, I know you love this movie, and I know you probably have this edition. I got this at a pawn shop. You know, I had the other version, another version, and this one has more stuff on it. I have yet to look at this version, but I can't wait till I do so, and it looks like there's a lot on here. I'll let you know what I think after I watch it, and watch all the special features. Peeping Tom, I think this is out of print. Powell, is it? I don't think it's both Powell and Pressburger. I think it's just it ruined. I think it ruined Michael Powell. Yeah, Michael Powell. I think it ruined his career because it was kind of perverse for his time period. But I think it was. I guess it was supposed to be way ahead of its time. I've only watched like maybe 1 minute of the starting. I think. Here's a good movie. 2 short movies. La Jetée and Sans Soleil. La Jetée would later inspire 12 Monkeys with Brad Pitt, Bruce Willis, and Madeline Stowe. La Jetée is a movie it's a science fiction movie. It's all told in still pictures. There's only one shot where you see a moving image. I don't remember where it is. And then Sans Soleil is showing, I think it's showing footage of somewhere in Africa and also somewhere in Japan. I can't remember the exact point of the film, but yeah, so it's got a do they have the Dave Bowie music video Jump, they say? I'm not sure. Okay, yeah. Okay, next up, Things to Come by H.G. Wells. Just a reference as to what I was going to buy. I get a gift certificate from my Barnes & Noble MasterCard. When I spend up to $2,500 on my Barnes & Noble MasterCard, I get a gift certificate. and for $25. So one of those cards could cover one of the two movies I want to buy, being Buster Keaton's The Cameraman. But the other one, I think it's like, I'm thinking I'm probably going to buy them online because I was going to visit my relatives in upstate in New York, and I had a hotel room reserved, but that might not be a good idea. I'm probably mostly thinking I'm not going to go through with it. I'm going to cancel the reservation because they have a Barnes & Noble up there, so I could save some money by going to the store, but I'll probably order online. And the other one I wanted to order, by the way, is War of the Worlds, which is also by H.G. Wells. Also, just incidentally, Orson Welles shares my birthday. But, yeah, so, but anyways, he did, no, did I say Orson Welles? H.G. Wells, not Orson Welles. H.G. Wells did this, Things to Come, that predicts the future. So I don't know when the future is. Is it the 1980s, maybe? So it's very utopian and all that kind of stuff, you know. I'll fill you in more when I watch it. The Vanishing, I think it's Dutch. Husband loses his wife at a rest stop on the highway. He looks for her, but then he wants to find the guy that kidnapped his wife, and things kind of go south as he finds out, when he tries to find out what happened. There's a remake of this as well, American remake. Maybe the American remake wasn't too bad, but I really care for the original one much more. Life and Death of Colonel Blimp. I said earlier in one of the previous videos that I don't know if this is worth buying. I guess it's kind of interesting, but I guess I chose it. So I would recommend more so, though, Black Narcissus and Matter of Life and Death. Matter of Life and Death. Yeah, I'd recommend Matter of Life and Death first, and then probably Black Narcissus next, and maybe this third. This is a film by Gillo Pontecorvo, Battle of Algiers. Italian film that's about the French occupying Algeria. It's got 2 discs in here. Of course, this is the Blu-ray version. I thought it was the DVD. And it's got a documentary about the dictatorship of truth, about the making of the film. And composer Ennio Morricone, who passed on a few days ago, as it is mentioned in here, shown in here, interviews with him. Interviews with Spike Lee, Mira Nair, Julian Schnabel, Steven Soderbergh, and Oliver Stone on the film's influence, style, and importance. There's a documentary on the Algerian experience for independence. A documentary about how the French military used torture and execution on Algerian fighters. Video piece on U.S. counterterrorism experts, and Gillo Pontecorvo's return to Algiers, a documentary where he visits the country after many decades. So, I reckon this is a very good movie. Okay. Just dipping back into, or going back, or whatever, into Asian cinema. I guess I only have 2 Chinese Criterions, but both of the same director, so that's why I saved it for this time period. King Hu directed this great movie called Touch of Zen. If this film hadn't been made, there would have been no Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and everything that followed. And it has 5 different paths that it goes down. It starts off as like the first 5 minutes is like the world of nature. Then the second part is the historical era of of China, like a dynasty or whatever. Like people in this historical era of China. Then a ghost story. Then a fighting a kung fu kind of a thing, and or karate, like kung fu, I think. And then at the end, a Buddhist theme emerges. So it jumps all around. Well, it doesn't jump all around. It seamlessly blends, and it's long. It's like 3 hours long, but it's never boring in my opinion. Um, it has some special features, but really enjoyable. So, and of course this is a film I bought because King Hu directed it, but I haven't watched it yet. It's another martial arts movie, Dragon Inn. I won't say I'll get into more detail about this when I watch it. Same thing with this Lure. I guess it's a mermaid movie or something. It looks cool though. Alternative 1980s Poland, I guess, what it says here. So mermaids. Two more piles. Okay. So, Innocence, great movie with Deborah Carr. Is she hallucinating or seeing real ghosts? Who knows? Interview with cinematographer John Bailey about the director of photography Freddie Francis. I think he did Lawrence of Arabia, Freddie Francis. Christopher Frayling doing introduction, new piece on the making of the movie. Yeah, good movie. It's a period film, I believe. Eyes Without a Face, a French horror movie by Georges Franju. Just visually interesting. Phantom Carriage by Victor Seastrom or Sostrom. This, I think, had a big influence on Ingmar Bergman. It's a silent film. If you like silent films, if you like horror movies, you might find this interesting. Because when a person dies at the end of the year, they're supposed to take on the mantle or responsibility of collecting the dead during the following year. I haven't watched this yet. I've seen it before, and it has more than one version of this. I don't know. Let's see, it's On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, directed by Elia Kazan and written by Bud Schulberg. It's about unions. Great romance between Eva Marie Saint and Marlon Brando. Martin Scorsese's on here. Hour-long documentary on Elia Kazan. A documentary about the making of the movie, scholar Leo Braudy, critic David Thompson, and others. Interview with Eva Marie Saint. I guess there's 3 different versions of the movie. Interview with the people that are behind the film, real people. So, being there with Peter Sellers and Shirley MacLaine's, directed by who directed this? Hal Ashby, yes, Hal Ashby, yes. And he's a simple gardener. His employer dies, and these rich people think he's this profound thinker, but he's just a gardener, and he might be kind of stupid. Meets the president, so you think he's this profound guy. It's a comedy. I believe Peter Sellers was nominated for an Oscar for this, and he died shortly after this. Investigation of a Citizen Above Suspicion by Elio Petri. Great music by Ennio Morricone. what's his name? Gian Maria Volante, who's been in some spaghetti westerns. He plays this police guy. He knows he's done this murder, but the way authorities handled, you know, really get away with what he's done or not. It's kind of the irony about how power works is the beauty of this movie. Midnight Cowboy. There's a pure person on YouTube whose videos I watch. I got to catch up on his videos. I haven't been watching recently, but his name was Blu-ray Collector 1971, I think. But now it's Blu-ray J. So look under Blu-ray J. But anyways, I bought this. I bought this before I met him on the internet by another friend, Sasha, Sexy Monkey. Sexy Monkey is his YouTube channel. I think he recommended Midnight Cowboy to me. And Jay, Blu-ray J, this is his favorite movie. So I think it's a very sad movie. I do like these kind of movies, though. I mean, kind of brutal, kind of gritty and realistic, and it's sad, but it's beautiful. You know, bittersweet. And I have watched all of this, I believe. I've looked at all the stuff on here. This is worth a watch. Okay, so wrapping it up, I got 2 box sets and two Blu-rays to show you. The Beatles, Hard Day's Night. I've only watched the starting of this, but it looks cool. It's directed by Richard Lester, I believe, who would later go on to direct. He'd later go on to direct Superman 2. Richard Donner directed Superman 1. He also directed part of Superman 2. But the Salkinds fired Richard Donner and had Richard Lester finish Superman 2. There's also a Donner cut of Superman 2 that they redid in the recent past, I believe. But I'm digressing. This is the Beatles, Hard Day's Night. Looks like it's loaded up with special features here. But I know, if you like the Beatles, I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. I guess I saved those because of the music ones. And this is Quadrophenia, which is Who's second rock opera. I have seen this movie, but I haven't seen it in quite a long time. And again, this looks like it has a fair amount of special features. It might not have as many as the Beatles one, but did I see the Beatles title is Hard Day's Night? So, and last off, we got these 2 box sets. You know what? I think when the November sale happens, I'm going to get Elephant Man and the third in this series I'm going to show you here. So, but anyways, these are these box sets. Martin Scorsese's World Cinema Project. He curates these films. Each of these films has an introduction by Scorsese, interviews with the filmmakers, visual essays, or one video essay, I guess, at least, programs, or a program in Francis, at least. So you got, films from Senegal, Mexico, and India, Bangladesh, Turkey, Morocco, South Korea. And the films are Tuki Buki from Senegal, Reeds from Mexico, River Called Titus from India, Bangladesh, Dry Summer from Turkey, Francis from Morocco, and Housemaid from South Korea. That was number 1 he made, and then number 2 he has Insiang Philippines. Mysterious Object at Noon from Thailand. I have seen this director at the Burns, who was a filmmaker in residence. He's it's hard to pronounce his name. Abakatan Uther Call. My friend can pronounce his name, but the guy whose name is this. He just tells people to call him Joe. But yeah, he was a filmmaker in residence. He made a movie called Uncle Boomy, He Can Recall His Past Lives, which was the Palme d'Or winner at Cannes. And he made some other movies too. I can't remember the name of it. What the hell's the name of that movie? Whatever. But yeah, so that one, Revenge from the Soviet Union, Limit from Brazil, Law of the Border, Turkey, and Taipei Story from Taiwan. So, okay, so that wraps it up. That's all the films. So let me just make some closing remarks here. It's now 4:10 a.m. in the morning, and I've been doing these videos since midnight, I would say. So I've done 4 hours worth of videos. Maybe this seems crazy to put all this up here. I don't know. I just want to give you all these choices. I want you to know what there is. I want you to see all the choices that are available. Just be aware of what you're buying, and yeah. So, in any case, I just wanted to make some suggestions so that if you didn't know what to buy, you might have direction as to what kind of film you want to buy. You know, if you wanted lots of special features, or you want to have fun with it, or if you wanted an art film. You know, I'm trying to give you some suggestions and countries and directors. So that's all I was trying to do. And I know it was a lot, but I'm sort of under the gun, and the sale starts on the 10th. I probably won't be buying right on the first day because I have to wait for my gift certificate in the mail. So, okay. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be putting this up in the next day or so. Okay. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye now.